Russland. Russland über alles. And if you're questioning if I've gone crazy, no. I still believe that Vladimir Putin did a lot of evil for my home country. For the new people, my name is Anna and I live in northern Germany. At the same time, I'm coming from Russia, from that country that is not doing great these days. And also, in this channel, mostly I talk about mental health and mental health recovery and my writing sometimes and my hobbies, but today I feel like making another video, although I promised myself that I'm not going to talk politics on YouTube because it's just not good for my mental health. Still, the elections in Russia are taking place right now, and this video is my way to participate in the Noon against Putin. This is the protest organized by Alexei Navalny team, and if you don't know who Alexei Navalny is, he is our biggest oppositioner. I just even could not say he was, because yeah, he died in the Russian jail. Yeah, what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about some lessons that you can learn from Russia. Because, yeah, it seems like Russia has gone crazy, the president is insane, but there are some things that you can learn. And I want to talk about them today. And I hope you won't repeat our mistakes. Yeah, the story. What the story is about. I was born in Russia in 1997. Almost in the end of the 90s. The times were not really easy for my country. And still, I'm proud that I know Russia without Putin. Well, I don't really remember that because I was 3 years old. But what I also remember, that times were a bit dark and a bit scary. My grandfather was always watching some criminal series, and I was always afraid of being kidnapped or something. And I even remember that we had a curfew for children up to 16 years old, and at some point at 10 p.m. in the evening on the TV you could see these announcements. Do you know where your child is? Check on your child. And that was a bit scary to see then, because when you think that there is someone's child and their parents don't know where they are, although why would you need to remind parents to take care of their children? And yet this is true. And recently I remembered about these banners on TV, and I thought that maybe on TVs or somewhere on YouTube in your countries, which are not dictatorships yet, hopefully will never be, maybe you also need to have some banners. And I want to share a bit of the ideas of these banners that I would want to see. By this video, I want to state that nobody is actually protected from dictatorship. And the thing is that you need to notice it on time. I will remind you that Putin didn't happen with Russia in one day. It took years and years, and we slept through losing our freedoms. That's why there are important things that I want you to pay attention to for your country to be free and happy. And yeah, I think it's good to learn from others' mistakes, the mistakes of others, than from your own. Although we still learn from our mistakes only, usually. But maybe, I hope someone would wake up after this video. I really hope so. The first banner that I would want to see on TVs in the United States, in Germany, in Europe, everywhere: Constitution. Have you ever read Constitution of your country? When did you last see the Constitution? Do you know what is written in your Constitution? Yeah, I know it's boring, Constitution, but Constitution is the main law of your country. And to protect Constitution, you need to know what is written there, because those are your basic rights, and those are your the main laws of your country. And sometimes Constitution really needs protection, because in 2020 Vladimir Putin pushed this law about changing Constitution, adding some sparkles of protecting the Second World War veterans, or what else it was, I don't even remember. There was some nonsense, but the main thing, what it was about allowing Putin to rule forever. So yeah, I want you to read your Constitution, or at least just brush through it. And also, I want this banner to be on the TV, like, do you remember about your Constitution? The next point, the next banner that I want to see: when are your next elections? Or do you know who is going to run for the elections in your country? I'm not only talking about the president or some top levels, the parliament. Local governors, they're also important. Read their programs, what they're promising, what is going on, because probably you don't notice, but the power is being taken over. Because I know that right now AfD in Germany is extremely popular, and they are chosen by older people when the youth can just sleep through the neo-Nazis coming to power. I don't want to say that it will definitely happen, because I think the German youth is sensible-ish, I would say, but it's not impossible. So look around, read their programs, what they're promising, and possibly you will notice some warning signs. There are always warning signs among these people. And also, go to the elections. Go to the elections and vote. There are no more important things that you can do on this day. Go and vote, because you're a person, not a number, and it's your responsibility. And also you're right. The next one will remind you of the story that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, but at the same time not exactly. When did you check on kids last time? And yeah, I know, maybe you're child-free. You have no kids, and no kids in the near future or in faraway future. But maybe you have siblings, or nieces, or nephews, and I want you to check what they are up to, what they're studying at school. It's actually a very important topic. Maybe they're being forced to learn something. Maybe there is excessive religion teaching, or I don't know, they are trying to push on children some doctrine, or they are talking about the war too much, because in Russia this is what is happening right now. Putin lost my generation. I think my generation is freer than the children of today who are studying at school, because it's easier to brainwash them. It's easier to change their minds. It's easier to turn them into the copies of the Soviet children that never knew freedom and were never taught how to be free. So pay attention. Also notice what children are saying, what they are playing, because maybe racism isn't blossom at schools, and it is also coming from somewhere. Really, pay attention to kids. The next banner, another thing, a quick check. How is it going with the LGBTQ community? Well, I hope you're not against the LGBTQ community, because I think in the English-speaking world it's quite... Well, I would better not be. I would better educate myself. But okay, it's not my place to tell you about that. But let's assume that you have an okay position, a normal standard position for today. Check on them, how they're doing. If you don't have friends, even if you don't have relatives who belong to this LGBTQ community, just check. Did they live better? Have they started to live better or worse? Because in Russia we also had some warning signs. For example, in early 2000s, people were okay with the LGBTQ community. They didn't consider it as something crazy. But today, the LGBTQ community is threatened, and also LGBTQ is now extremist in Russia. Hi, extremists. I'm also an extremist. Yeah, so this is a very warning sign when someone, politics, starts using this topic of LGBTQ community, starts attacking LGBTQ community. Really pay attention. The LGBTQ community is going first, and you will be next, I can promise you. What is it going to be about? Oh yes, media. Check on media. How are they? Do you have independent media? Are there people who are actually persecuted for the freedom of speech? Check it out, really. Are there any scandals with people brought to court for the spreading certain information? Because it's also a warning sign. In Russia, in 2004, if I'm not mistaken, we lost the last independent channel on TV. And yeah, we should have understood everything at that point. Because since 2004, I hope I'm not mistaken, like I think 2003 to 2004, we don't have an independent channel on TV. They all belong to the government. So think about it, what you are consuming. Who are these people that you're watching like on the TV, like on YouTube? It's a bit easier, but I think the YouTube is not that widespread, like politics-wise. In the United States or in Germany, people prefer to watch TV. So check it out. Who are those people? And if you can trust them, who are telling you the news, for example. And one more. The last but not least from me. Women. If women are suffering, if you like, there should be a bell ringing, you know, when you hear that abortions are banned, or I don't know, women in Russia, we have this wonderful law that was decriminalized, the law about domestic violence. So basically, It was, I think, in 2018, 2019, like, well, relatively soon, the domestic violence was decriminalized, and in Russia, a woman cannot be protected. A woman cannot feel safe. And check it out. Yeah, it might seem that, oh yeah, abortions are not my problem, but they are your problem, because, well, men at the government have nothing to do with women's bodies. And if they start being concerned about how many children a woman should have, the bell is ringing already. Go to a protest. Are my warning signs that I would point out for people, because yeah, I want you to think about it, at least think about it, because I have to tell you that there is no vaccine against dictatorship, because people like Putin, maybe a person like Putin was born yesterday or will be born tomorrow, and this is our responsibility to stop them on the way, not like when they're already at power and they send people to jail, when they murder people, etc., etc. And yeah, really don't be passive, because if you don't care about politics, and politics will care about you, I can assure you, you will pay double price if you don't pay attention who you are choosing, or if you are choosing anyone. Because if you don't go to elections, please reconsider, because yeah, it's very convenient just to say, well, everything will be chosen without me. But no, you shouldn't do that. You should be active, because otherwise you will be like me and like other Russians who don't really know what to do next. But yeah, if you're coming from a country that is already a failed state, or something bad happened to your country, first of all, I'm very sorry. And second, don't be desperate, because if it's not really pleasant, if this is a very unhappy place right now, it doesn't mean that it has no chances to improve in the future. I believe that Russia will be free, and I hope that you pay attention to the things around you after this video. And yeah, I wish you love, and peace from Anna of Northern Germany, the exiled Russian.